Playing to Win. Chapter 6, Scene 2. She wasn't in the library, though he even went so far as to case the stacks, and the student union was a total dead zone. Even the small, totally inferior, but always busy coffee shop was empty of customers. He cruised past the bar, but he didn't see her car, and he didn't honestly expect that she'd take refuge in a place where she might end up running into Nicole anyway. It wasn't until he pulled in at their usual coffee place on the edge of campus that he had any luck. "O'Sullivan," Eric greeted him with a lift of his chin, hands already busy pouring his coffee. "Break any hearts last night?" Sully grimaced. "Not last night." "Have you seen Kate?" Eric nodded toward the back corner of the shop. I was going to call if you didn't show up soon. She's been sitting over there for the last hour, just staring into her cup." "Thanks." He slid him a $5 bill, waving for him to keep the change, and took his coffee with him to Kate's booth. She didn't even look up when he set his cup down on the end of the table, so he slid onto the bench next to her, forcing her to acknowledge him with a hip check. "Move over, Catelet." "Ugh." She threw him a glare, sidelong, but slid in, squeezing herself into the corner. "Go away, Sully." "Nope." He took her coffee from her hands, opened the lid from his own, and poured half of his into her cup, warming it up before passing it back. "If I'd been thinking, I'd have brought something to spike it, but at least it won't be cold anymore." "You're all consideration," she grumbled, looking out the window. "If that were true, you wouldn't be sitting here all alone brooding into your cup." He nudged her shoulder with his own. "You know I'll always give a damn, right? No matter what." She let out a breath, some of the tension bleeding out of her body with it. "It's like the whole apartment thing, though, Sully. We'll be friends forever, sure, but we both know how it is when things get serious, and I don't want to get in your way." "You're never in my way," he promised. "And if someone I'm seeing has a problem with me helping out my friend, then no matter how great the sex is, they're obviously not the one." "Even if it's the most mind-blowing sex of your life?" she asked, staring at her coffee cup again. "Progress of a sort." "Even then," he agreed, throwing an arm across her shoulders and dragging her in for a hug, whether she wanted one or not. She made a soft sound of protest, but she didn't stay stiff for more than a second before she fit herself against his side, her head tucked under his chin. "So you admit it, then," she said after a moment, her voice muffled against his shirt. He'd never realized how much her hair smelled like coconut. The bathroom always did after she showered, but somehow he'd never put two and two together. She pulled away, looking up at him from beneath her eyelashes and brushing some bit of crumb from the bench seat between them. "You admit I'm right." "About what?" he asked, cautious now. If he didn't know any better, he'd think she was flirting. In fact, he was pretty sure he'd seen her pull this innocent, non-threatening act before. If he recalled correctly, it was right before she'd gotten the poor guy to cover her bar tab after he'd said something beyond offensive, and she'd decided it was time to cut him loose. "Well, if you'd give up a girl who was mind-blowing in bed because she had a problem with your generosity..." She smiled then, and met his eyes dazzling and triumphant. "Sex isn't the most important indicator after all." He groaned, leaning back hard against the booth. "That isn't..." "You said it," she said. "You said you'd give up mind-blowing sex if she had a problem with you helping a friend, and that means I win. I am the winningest winner." She pumped her fist into the air, and he couldn't help but laugh, pulling her into a headlock and mussing her hair the way he knew she hated. All right, you win, you're right. Sex isn't the most important, but that doesn't change the fact that if there's no chemistry, I'm not interested in spending a lot of time trying to start a fire that probably won't ever catch." "But I win," she said, pulling free. "I win, and you know what that means." He sighed, mostly for effect. "Yes, I know what it means. No more bathroom cleaning for me." "Well," he drawled, taking a sip of his coffee, "no more bathroom cleaning for you until you move out, anyway, since you're so determined not to accept my so-called charity." "Oh, no," she said. Nope. You're not getting out of your side of this bargain that easily. There is no way I'm leaving now. Not until you kick me the hell out." He hid a smile behind his cup. "I should have known." Cleaning the bathroom was a small price to pay, all things considered, and it wasn't as if he'd lied. He really would kick a girl to the curb if she had a problem with his friendship with Kate, or the fact that he was giving her a little help until she figured things out. The way he saw it, as long as Kate stuck around and didn't get all stubborn on him for the sake of her pride, they'd both won. that didn't mean he was going to change the rules of his game.